Hello, everyone. It's the 1st of October 2021. I'm really excited about this interview. I'm speaking to Fee. She's also known as Fifi, and she's the founder of Stand in the Park. It's a full-time job for Fee, and she used to work, but says due to non-compliance, she no longer is in that occupation. She worked for a charity, vision loss charity. She's originally from St Albans in Hertfordshire, but she's in the Midlands at the moment while I'm talking to her. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to connect with you. And I look back at the whole journey I've been on, with right from the beginning, and still in touch with Louise Creffield from Save Our Rights UK and these organisations, Molly Kingsley from Us for Them. I have seen the progression of these organisations, and what I would say is a Stand in the Park have been a community grassroots uprising. So exciting to talk to you and to connect with you, and hopefully we can share this with Against Vaccine Passports, and we can share it with you guys. I know it's a full-time job for you, and I know I know what you mean, because it's just a full-time job for me now. The whole media thing, the journalism thing, the interviews, how many more interviews could I do, Fee? How many more doctors and teachers? I've got a barrister I am going to interview next week. He's a new face and a new voice. But I got to the stage where I was just doing the same thing, interviewing the same people. I was losing Facebook for sharing a particular clip of Dr. Roger Hodkinson, very much focused now on this business directory and Against Vaccine Passports, and seeing it grow with a wonderful team behind us. So I'm sure you've got people helping you as well. I couldn't do it without them. It's been a kind of journey on my own. It was a journey on my own. And then now I've got, social media manager and website developer admin staff, and we pay them thanks to the t-shirt sales, and I know you do t-shirts as well. So this came about February 2021. Tell me a little bit about it. I think we were in the fourth lockdown.
It's hard to remember now, isn't it? The time it's all kind of merging in together. But yeah, we were in one of the many lockdowns at that point. When I started in the UK. The whole movement itself started in Australia, and it was a very, very good friend of mine, Brady Gunn, who started in Sydney, standing in his park, and he was on his own for 3 months, standing on his own, questioning his sanity, but knowing it's something that he needed to do. And eventually it spread. Then we got in contact, and he kind of suggested, why don't you get it going where you are? And that was it, really. It just took off and took over my life, and that's been it ever since.
The Stand in the Park, we need to remember, because I went to the protests, you see, and I know what's happened to Save Our Rights UK, the fines that they got for protesting. So we were in a situation where, one, we couldn't meet up with friends, we couldn't meet up with family, we couldn't go to church, we couldn't go to a cafe, we couldn't go to the gym, but we were allowed to go for a walk. We were allowed to go to the park, and that was a place to meet. And we must never forget, in our British democratic free society, that's where we were brought to communicate. This was as difficult as that, wasn't it? Can you believe that? But that brand, Stand in the Park, has just spread all around the country. And you've got, how did it grow so quickly, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I put it out there in various freedom groups. Save Our Rights was behind us, behind me from day one. So Louise was really happy to put it out there and share everything. And I think it was just a case of it being the right thing at the right time for everyone. It was for me, and it just seemed like this was the thing that everyone was waiting for, to bring them together in their communities.
And it's different, isn't it? When you meet people, we've got to remember this. There's one in Barry in the Vale of Glamorgan I've been to, and I'm sure you've got that feedback. As soon as you meet people, physically meet them, they mean something, you remember them. It's very different to what I have been doing, is responding to emails, Twitter messages. It's just a name. It's very hard to remember people, isn't it? But when you've built those community connections and that support, people, losing loved ones, people struggling with mental health issues, or even losing jobs, small businesses struggling. We went through so much, didn't we? And I really love Save Our Rights UK. Us for Them, again, fantastic in looking after kids. We cannot forget what happened, and we've got to make sure it doesn't happen again. The kids on their Xboxes. And I always kept thinking to myself, wasn't it bizarre? Do you remember the beginning of the lockdown? I live in quite a nice area where there's a lot of open space, and people would come for a walk during lockdown and they would get shouted at by the
Yeah,
locals. Don't come and bring
yeah,
your germs here.
I
They were
know.
social distance. And I thought, wait a second, that could be, I don't know, a single parent with 5 kids in a flat. Yeah. They've come out for a walk and you're shouting at them. How bad is this going to get? The playgrounds were
Yeah.
shut. The schools were shut. Um, that made me just question. I don't know if this whole journey, I don't know what you think, but makes me question humanity.
It does, absolutely. Yeah, the whole way through, and we're still questioning it as, more and more things are rolled out. You do think, what will it take? But I've been saying really since the beginning of this that there's an attitude of, I'm all right, Jack, that's become pervasive throughout society. It's how we've been conditioned, and really until people have got their backs against the wall, and this is really directly impacting them, we do see this compliance, we do see this going along with things for the sake of a peaceful life, and that's kind of the situation we're in, really. I think that's why we're, until people really, really are profoundly impacted themselves.
Well, that's selfish nature, isn't it? That's the selfish nature. We've
It's
seen
been
that with
encouraged.
the fuel crisis and the people
Yes.
panic buying. It's been a very selfish attitude. And you're right. As long as you've got that income coming in, food on the table, and a roof over your head,
Exactly.
something's not right. But you feel it. I have to look after my family, keep my mouth shut. And then we've seen these great, really brave people come out and actually put their reputations on the line and do something. I think this community this community grassroots uprising is so powerful. Do you have Facebook groups and Telegram groups all over the UK?
Yeah, we
How do you manage
do.
that? Do you have moderators? Because how does it all work?
Yeah. Well, on a wing and a prayer mostly. I do have some amazing people around me. I mean, we've now got stands, they're all around the world. So I'm trying to manage, the UK and what I can. Like Europe, it's really taking off. The whole thing, I mean, really, as much as social media, it's a blessing and a curse. That's what did get the word out. So I started off a Facebook group. That's how originally the word got out about the stands in the UK. But we do have Telegram as well. Loads of the local groups have got their own Telegram groups as well. There are the Facebooks, but in the end, it is all about meeting in the physical. That's what the stands are about.
And what a warm welcome you get. And what a wonderful warm welcome. That feeling that I'm not alone anymore. I can talk about how I'm feeling, and that smiles and the warmth. And, if you go along to one of these meetings, don't you just get embraced with the warmth
Yes.
of humanity? And isn't that lovely to make those friends in a dark and quite lonely time, an isolating time, but that you can go to, none of them are too far away either. And there's a fantastic one in Carmarthen. So I'm Wales based.
Yes.
They all get the coach from Swansea to the protests, and they've built this it's a community thing that I'm so grateful to you for talking to me about this. So we really just need to, what I wanted to say is just get people involved with Stand in the Parks. You've got a list of all of the groups. Have you on your website?
So, yeah, everything's on the website. So all the stands worldwide, you can go click on the country, the region, and you'll see the lists of the stands. So, and if there isn't one near you or near enough, then it's so easy to get one going. You just email to stands that are stands in the park, nominate your park, I'll be in contact, and we get the word out, and that's it. You're
always meet on a Sunday. Is it Sunday morning or is it different?
It's Sunday 10 to 11. Well, it's 10 until whenever you like, but the actual stand is 10 to 11. Worldwide.
That's pretty straightforward. I know when the one I went to in Barry, they had a banner, so you knew where to go. It's a massive park. Are you providing those banners, or people just getting them printed off?
People getting those ones done. I have got some designs that we're going to be putting out there, so people have got something already that they can they can get printed up. But yeah, we've got flags, we've got all kinds of things, you know, and the wearing yellow, it's, you know, it's kind of become synonymous with the movement, the colour yellow, but also it does alert people to, oh look, there's a patch of yellow over there, I think that's where we need to be.
The yellow's a beautiful colour. And
Yeah.
yellow and blue, so we're all blue with the Against Vaccine
Yes.
passports. We are selling do you sell t-shirts, do you, directly to?
Yes, we do. So they're all on the website as well. I mean, you can find them in the Telegram and Facebook groups, but if you just go onto the website, then you've got t-shirts and vests and little tote bags like you're doing. You've got the back, they're brilliant to take out with you because people just notice when you're shopping, and yeah, it's a way to get the word out.
We've been on a similar journey, haven't we? Well, on a personal level, what keeps you going? Is it no, I mean, we're paying for everything through the t-shirts. In fact, the t-shirts are over there.
We're not getting any funding. Also, you know, not working, not being able to work. I mean, there's no time to actually work in a conventional job now, because this is literally what I do. It's a 7-day-a-week job. The hours, you know, can be up to, you know, I was doing regularly like 18-hour days in the beginning, because it really was just me, until I found a bit of a team. We're very close knit. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's the only way. I don't ask for donations or anything like that. I mean, it's lovely when people offer them, but it is literally just through selling the t-shirts and the badges and the bags that we've got anything coming in at all.
Well, this is interesting, a situation, because I've seen lots of volunteer organisations rising up. The Recovery Group asked for them, and yourselves, Save Our Rights UK, and you know, to have volunteers, because I have had lots of people offer to help with the work I've been doing. Unfortunately, when I have had some volunteers, they're really, really passionate and engaged for a couple of months, and then they're kind of like, life takes over and they have a job, so I end up having to train someone else. So my strategy has been to pay people and to run this as a business, and I have no problem with that. You know, it's a freedom business community. It's a way of people to connect. We are just doing it all on t-shirt donations and, you know, small donations that come in, but I want this to be strong and transparent and to last. This directory that I'm building, and you get that with you know, a professional look and feel to what you're doing. You know, my job, like you, I can't do my job, which was doing media training for big corporate clients, you know, video training, which was very well paid. But if I was doing that now, I don't know if you were doing your job now, I'd just be thinking, no, I can't do this. This isn't right. I've got kids. I'm worried, you know. Of course I wanted to do that. I loved education. I didn't want to be a journalist. I thought it was nonsense, crap, excuse my language, because I could see the power was moving to social media. People, it's a level playing field. People can film and edit, and I'm sure your members do on their mobiles. So my passion was in promoting and educating people into citizen journalism and a more democratic media service. So that was what I loved, and it was a lot less stressful. It was well paid, no trolling, no hassle. But if I was still doing that now, you know, deep in my heart and my conscience, I wouldn't feel like I was doing my bit, because this is serious. It's serious, isn't it, Fee? What's happened to us in our society, and the breakdown in trust, a government health education system, and where we need to bring back that strength and trust on the community level. We have to do this, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about community, really, because if we don't have that, what do we actually have? And that was the thing when I started this. Aside from, you know, making the actual physical stand in the park and saying, I'm not going to be told where I can go and for how long and so on and so forth, it was just about getting in contact with like-minded people, because we felt so isolated. We didn't know.
We need to talk about this, though, that we have in lots of members in our Against Vaccine passports that are vaccinated. Yeah. Do you welcome people that have been vaccinated as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, we're just completely inclusive. There are so many people that have had the jab and now have questions, or they're regretting it, or or they just, you know, they might be all for the jab, but actually seeing it being forced onto people, so the choice is being taken away, they're completely against. Yeah, so there's no discrimination. I mean, obviously in the end it's, we all want freedom, and that's what brings us together, and people can have as many different opinions and beliefs as they like, but in the end it's that overarching desire for freedom that brings people together and gets them seeing past those you know, the more superficial differences.
And we also, I think, are being split in the nations, because Wales and Scotland are bringing in vaccine passports, and they still have mask mandates here, and still masks rules in Wales. You know, forget about that, and they forget about how we are. Yeah, we're all in a different place. We're all carrying different concerns, but it's being, you know, making sure that we're inclusive, and that freedom issue for vaccine passports for me, Fee. I mean, just thinking about, you know, being in a nightclub, 18, 19 years old, you're really excited. Maybe you just had your 18th birthday, you can go to a nightclub for the first time. Your mobile runs out of battery, you're chucked out. That's if you even get into the nightclub in the first place. Your batteries run out, it's 1 a.m. You don't want that for your kids. Going around checking everyone's mobiles. You've got being watched, everything you do, everywhere you go.
Yeah. It's Big Brother, it really is, and it's so serious. This is the kind of gateway into this dystopian nightmare that we've seen in so many sci-fi films and read in books, that's actually planned to play out, because that's it. If we agree to this, then, you know, there's just no limit really on the amount of
I don't
control.
know how much faith I've got in the human. You know, we agreed to mask our kids up in the class. You know, we've agreed to so much. We've agreed to being locked in our homes and only being allowed to go for a walk. We've agreed to a lot, haven't we? So all I know is I'm doing my bit. I want to help you guys in any way I can. Thank you for talking to me. Just let us know where we can find you.
Yeah, so you can find us at our websites. It's www.standinthepark.org, and there's the Facebook groups. So if you just go onto Facebook, you'll find we've got a page, and we've got the UK group and groups for all the countries that are
Facebook groups. No, they're so stressful.
They really are. I mean, I've got great people just kind of managing those things, because that's just a full-time job on its own. And we were taken down. We had, you know, over 40, I think we were at about 45,000 members, maybe a bit more, and they took us down. So we're kind of trying to build that back up. It's getting more and more difficult on
we
Facebook.
Can help you. We've got lots of connections. We're all going to help each other, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. That's what it's about.
You can help us, we can help you. And there's some, I know, you know, I've met the people right from the beginning. My goodness me, people like you and Molly from West for Them and Louise, wonderful, wonderful people, such strength and compassion and dedication. And I'm honoured and privileged to be in a position to be able to connect with people like you, and where we can help each other. So you take care. Lovely to talk to you.
Too.
And yes, stay in touch.
Definitely.
Do this, my friend. Come on.